Yeah, so at that point, I don't know how they can't go down. Yeah. So regardless of how Rad do, yeah, this is last game of day as well. Yeah, I think the top 6 is settled. What am I doing? Sorry, that was Timeless versus Avidity. Did you eat Backers? No, he's a bit under the weather, and you could tell he was flagging a little bit, you know? So Backbone's gone to sleep. He'll be back tomorrow, so he should be good at least for all of EMEA and maybe a little bit more as well. I had to watch Peps on mute because I was at work. What was my Backbone's reaction to it? I guess by the time the result actually happened, it didn't feel like a surprise anymore. Obviously, you know, on paper, huge surprise in terms of result. But actually, the more as you watch the games, Peps just looked good for it, right? Like, Zodial, fantastic series. Robbed a player of the match. I mean, Ice played well, but Zodial was 100% player of the match. So many important kills, important moments, etc., etc. But yeah, by the end, they just looked good for it. I felt like, as much as Zodial was the star player, I felt like it was also a macro victory for Peps. Lots of good disengagers mixed into all of this right now. You combine, like, good macro with your hit scan having a really good game, and suddenly everything's going to start going your way in a lot of these situations. I think we talked, Backbone sort of suggested that maybe, is it possible Genji had been overrated to a certain degree, or maybe overvalued? Maybe some of the results, even though they've beaten a lot of the good teams, have they beaten all the good teams while they're down? You know, they've beaten TM when they had a really rough start. They've beaten Alcancia when they had a really rough start. They've beaten, you know, who else? I'm thinking there's another team I forget as well. But essentially just had, like, got to play a lot of the teams at nice times to play the teams. And not that they aren't a good team, or they don't still deserve it. That's sort of like, they will be battling out for China. But maybe they've actually got boosted a little bit higher, and that actually the Genji Virtus Pro gap is a bit more significant, and a lot of teams are starting to catch up and even surpass Genji right now. Is Ice next up? Yeah, I think Ice has been playing really well, and really well on a variety of heroes too. So I think Ice is actually in a really good situation, or in terms of how he's performed so far.
Neighboring the currently burning Palisades fire, they are doing a community distribution event today, and we brought 6 pallets of supplies down to help support their efforts. A bunch of over-the-counter medications, kind of 15 to 20 cases, PPE, some solar chargers.
Ooh, so what was next? Sorry, it was Rad versus Nightmare now. Now, some people have been saying Nightmare are, like, in really good form at the moment, strong scrimbucks in their favour, stuff like that. Rad have been a team that have actually struggled throughout. I mean, a good part of this. I think a lot of early hype, their success on the Hazard comp, but it feels like they've not really been able to utilise that or get that matchup. In fact, the only time when it was a hard Hazard meta, they played Shikigami, which was probably a game they would have won anyway, honestly, you know? So, yeah, disappointing season, I think, for Rad when you look at the quality of their roster. Obviously, a lot of the games are going to be tough in NA, but I think when you look at how close those games were, like getting 3-0'd by Avidity, I think that one really hurts for Rad, you know? So while I don't expect Rad to win today, I think a better performance would probably go a long way for them in this. Ooh. Ice won the award for most swears said during a 2-minute interview on broadcast. Good for him. Do you think we'll see an upset in NA, or would it be Team Liquid and SSG? I think actually Nightmare are right there on parallel with them. I think it's a free horse race, and maybe actually, I think it's probably actually unfair not to throw Timeless into there as well. I think all 4 of those teams, maybe Team Liquid is just like a couple of notches above, but I think all 4 of those teams could see it going any way between all of them. I think North America, now playoffs, I mean, it's going to be true in EMEA as well. I think it's a real dogfight between all of them, honestly. If I could pick 2 right now, I would just say SSG and Team Liquid. I think out of those 4, Team Liquid have to be the favourite to go through ahead of the others. And then I have to pick SSG contractually as the one who also go to China. So, but I don't know. I don't think it's straightforward for anyone. Even Team Liquid as the sort of favorite, it's not straightforward for them at all, actually. So yeah, I think it should be Sunday is going to be super exciting. A little bit of a preview of playoffs as well. Even though I think in reality, I mean, I guess seeding is important, like just because even though we talk about all of these teams in question, the top 4 of North America, they will be getting into the upper bracket. I think you've got to look at it as well, if these series are going to be so tight and the teams are going to be so evenly matched, then actually having that first map pick, it's going to be so important, right? So suddenly having seeding, having that advantage to pick the first map, stuff like this, I think it's going to be grand. Grand. I was trying to use trying to use the thesaurus words. Grand wasn't the right one to go for.
Capture the objective.
Alright, locking in. Nightmare versus Rad right now. Kufa still in. Painkiller on the other side. It's going to be a hazard ban from Nightmare. So they want to play the Ramatra. Painkiller not going to oblige for that mirror. Not going to oblige for that mirror. Will be on the Diva. Might be swapping after this though. Juno, Lucio, Torb, Sombra. We've seen Lethal probably playing about as much Sombra as anyone really in the world right now. In a lot of these matchups. We've seen him play Sombra Genji, Sombra Torb in a lot of these situations. Really trying to get the value out of that. For now, Chronic Foe has the high ground. Zero's going to throw out the turret. They can see the first flip right now, relying on Chronic to try and find something reasonable. They've taken care of the turret right now. But a very slow and passive first fight from Rad right now. Obviously, they can't really fight head-to-head with Kufa too much. They do clear Lethal out underneath, who will pick up that Mega. Virus from downtown to try and put pressure there onto Chronic. The Chronic has kept this strong position, but the time is just ticking away. Nightmare haven't really had point threatened all that much. Now the Lucio Tracer group trying to come through the left right now for Rad. Need King to try and have an impact, but then Lethal's going to catch him on the high ground. Z's not able to pocket Chronic through that. Suzu out from Z's right now, but can't land the shot onto Lethal, when Lethal will just pull apart the backline. Very underwhelming fight there from Rad as we see King move on to the Venture. Yes, Pineapple, we did. Everyone tried to go at Sombra. Everyone to go at Sombra. Not a great look for anyone, unfortunately. Okay. Trying to get a bit of an angle to clear Kufa right now, but Kitsune Rush just come out. Nightmare don't quite have the any support ults to match, but they do have the EMP, and Lethal was good for one. They've lost Kufa in the backline. It was a one-way trip for Lethal as well, as the EMP has really not got the value. The Admiral was in deep behind. The extra boot distance there. What was it? Base boost? Base blowout, sorry. Base blowout going to do a lot to help with that. But they do give a retake there. Faster Kitsune Rush. And a bit of a weird timing there, honestly, in terms of you want to commit on with that EMP timing, but they've already used Kitsune Rush, and they're playing on Kitsune Rush, and they're healing up through it. There we go. Nightmare vote. They have big ults to retake with double support ult coming up from Annihilation. Probably the Molten Core, their best opener though, Nightmare, just to try and clear some of that space on point. Rad Esports probably going to respond with the Overclock. Trying to get Chronic going something. Kufa is going to try and deny that by just pressing this Annihilation on him. Z is going to hide to try and get the TP out, but going all over right now. Boop is going to help him. Kufa can't keep pushing, but he's cleared a lot of space and taken a lot of attention. Zero's found one on point. Chronic responds with the Overclock now. Kufa has one more form with the backline as Left is going to drop the beat. Admiral's going to try and respond, but the boot makes it very scary. Yuvi's going to die before the beat comes out. A classic left gap. He's done it to Vega. Now he's done it to Admiral. Chronic sliding, oh, not quite sliding up right now. But they will stabilize, they will clear the point right now. And a classic left gap, honestly. That boot coming in, so much value in some of these. Now Molten Core, EMP nearly up for Nightmare for this retake. Z is going to have the Kitsune Rush, but Molten Core can really shut down a Kitsune Rush because you just drop some of the Molten Core on the Kitsune Rush, but nobody can stand on it unless they've got lava-proof shoes, but nobody has the lava-proof shoes perk. So now we're going to retake. Harass from Painkiller on the high ground right now. Zero trying to take some space. Some Matrix was used. They're just going to disengage this, actually. Molten Core was used to try and save Kuffa, but it doesn't save Kuffa right now. Kuffa disengaging a slightly different way than the rest of the team. Doesn't able to link up. And Nightmare have made... well, we've been having problems on these retakes, actually. Good night, Tubi. Kuffa is going to swap to the Winston, Zero onto the Tracer. Emergency buttons have been pressed right now, but they are going to be pushing into King's Tectonic Shock. EMP is available for lethal though, so a good connection might just overwhelm them. They're trying to find someone, but look how split Rad Esports are. No good targets for lethal. Torpedo Swing comes out, forces left back. King has used that Tectonic Shock. Trying to catch for Winston. Kuffa is really low. Looking for the finishing blow. Burrows underneath and lethal gets taken down. No chance to use the EMP. Disaster for lethal. Kuffa is going to try and stall out point right now, but Admiral is going to try and mark this fate. To actually turn onto King. They kill the Venture. They trade Kuffa for it, but if they can keep stalling us out, lethal is going to come back with EMP, but they need a lot of stall. Lyra is still in, trying to buy valuable time. Lethal is spawned now on the way back. Zero has now burnt recall. Trying to buy time. EMP on point. Doesn't connect. Well, it connects onto targets, but he doesn't get the touch with it right there, so they don't extend the fight. So the clutch opportunity is lost. And yeah, crucial kill right there. Yeah, I mean, I really like Rad. I mean, obviously, you saw how high I put him in my power rankings if you caught in that video. It was 4th. It's not looking great in terms of my accuracy. I think we can all agree. But I think when you look at this Rad roster, like, look at this Rad roster. It's a pretty reasonable roster, right? I think a real chance for him to do quite well here. And I think they've not delivered up to it. Probably not Bad Life. I'll do him in the morning. But I think Rad haven't quite lived up to the strength of their roster right now. So I'm hoping for good things for them. Can we get the music off, mate? I want some game sounds. There we go. Fade back in, and it's going to be a Torb, Mirror, Sojourn versus Ash right now. So Sanctum really a very yeah, I see what you did there, Wilder. Lethal onto the Ash right now. A bit of a greedier hit scan pick, but on this type of map, I think you really get away with it. For now, a slow spammy fight. Little boot back there from Painkiller out of all of it. King over onto the Torb, just trying to lay as much damage down, try and keep Kuffa in check. Gonna be a there's E, and all of a sudden, whoa, blink and you miss it. Where's my backline gone? Nightmare, it hasn't been a great start for him on this map in general. And that's just going to be 2 picks out of nothing on the backline. Where did they go? If anyone has seen the Nightmare backline, please please let me know, because Nightmare could really do with them back. That's going to be a free first fight for him. Turret's going to go up from King in an annoying position. Painkiller holding close, just trying to play this angle with the turret. Going to body block a Matrix for it as well, so it's more annoying to clear. Missiles come out a little bit there, and it's actually... Has Painkiller used the missile perk? He's used for heavy rockets right now, so I feel like most people use the shield system there because it's more consistent. You get shields back from your Matrix and all that. But Painkiller wants the big rocket damage. All right, let's see it, Painkiller. Drop those heavy-duty rockets. Lots of damage right now. Runs over Kuffa, so I guess it was a good choice. Painkiller's going to clean up 2 on point. And I guess this is why you always equip heavy rockets. Painkiller proving his point. More heavy rockets going out. Chooses not to hit them. Intentionally misses them right now to try and stagger out Lethal a little bit more. Very late kill onto Lethal here. And all right. Not seen anyone use the heavy rockets perk, honestly. Played around with it in practice range, and it seemed like kind of a bit of a weird sort of interesting side grade. I think it does do more damage if you hit them all, even though they're a bit slower firing in all of this. But Painkiller sees the vision, sees the value. And now it's a retake attempt coming in, but Admiral's going to take a lot of damage coming through this door. Will be forced all the way back. Painkiller's keeping them contained. Beat push, Molten Core and Overclock come in right now. And they're just all over this backline. And Nightmare just haven't turned up on Sanctum at all, have they? They're just not ready to play. They're getting pushed over right now. Have been a lot of ults investment from Rad, you have to say. A late kill onto Lethal again. With King's turret not gonna abide by the stagger rules. Nightmare are coming up to a 5 bank, but the touch is going to be rushed. Who is going to guess it? Maybe eyes on Admiral to go for it. Beat early, and Admiral's going to have to rush with a touch in all of this. 4% to go. Admiral is trying to snake his way through right now. Annihilation popped for Kuffer to keep going. They lose 2 on the way through. The boop is good again. It's actually just a LEP world we live in. The wall turret into the base. Blowout boop. Oh, it's a perk gap. Rad were a perk team. They were a perk team all along, guys. Yeah, I can play out some Rad believers there. For 13% who believed in Rad. Wait, Panda, are you still awake? Pretty sure I got to bed. Alright, let's get this one loaded up for our next predictions then. Who will win map 2? Obviously, Nightmare's pick. These perks are so rad. I mean, it actually was a perk difference in the end. Kuffer not expecting the new boop. The wall turret doing a lot of damage there as well. And yeah, I mean, honestly, they actually just pushed Nightmare over in that. And that was, remember, that was Nightmare's pick, Nightmare's choice of bans and everything like that as well. So this is not a good omen at all for the Nightmare believers in all of this. Nightmare, I think, came in heavy favourites. Didn't look that way at all. I think I've just seen a lot of bad ults, really. EMP's bad on the first round. Backline just falling over at times here for Nightmare. Yeah, rough all over. Kuffer just getting caught in the front line, booped off the map. Bad looks for everyone. Oh wait, I got the numbers. Sorry, Toby. I sort of like looked at your message and saw it was the numbers, and then just didn't react at all. All right, I expect we're gonna see some notable differences here. Honestly, Lep actually with the hard gap on Admiral as well, at least from the eye test, and let's see if the numbers follow that trend. Yeah. Higher numbers, 15 on 1, can't complain. 20 on 1 for Chronic, 15 on 1 for Lep, 18 on 1 for Painkiller. Yeah, can't complain about these really at all. Kuffer with 7 deaths, not a great look. Holy heal gap. Oh, you're right actually. Like Lep is ahead by like about 2k, but Z is a mile ahead there. Over double, right? Over double there, playing the Kiriko into the Juno, right? I mean, Eevee was just dead a lot there, but I don't know exactly what went wrong, but... Alright, Suravasa, the next choice here from Nightmare. So imagine they want to try and force... what do they even want to force at this point? I feel like actually the matchup they got on the first map is kind of what they wanted, but it really didn't go their way. Suravasa, another one they can maybe play the Ram into the Diva. I guess CJ really is better. This is why Unter is the scouting master. King of the Scout, they call him. Scout master. All right. Looks like this, I would say it looks like this series might be going on a while. At the moment, it looks like a rad sweep. But I'm going to need the extra caffeine regardless. Alright, did I see... No subs came in from either team, right? No sign of clear. No sign of peace or anything like that. You don't want Unter as for Scoutmaster? Why wouldn't you trust Unter around a group of young, impressionable children? Name one good reason. Alright, what am I looking at? Nightmare ban Lucio. So we're going to try and play Anna, Brig, Genji, Sombra, Dive. Rad Esports are going to play Diva, Juno, Brig here. No comment.
One.
Alright. Okay, so a lot of pressure here on Nightmare's dive. In theory, this should be good for him, right? Like, well, Nightmare, maybe they don't have dive advantage if they're playing against a Team Liquid or an SSG. I think, actually, versus this, it should be quite reasonable as a comp matchup. On Surabasa, it's a hard map to Anabrig, actually, but it will match up nicely into Painkiller. I don't know if it forces Painkiller to swap over to the Hazard here, potentially, as well. For now, though, we'll just look to try and bully this Winston out, keep some of his space. They do obviously have very much the hit scan advantage here if they can just keep Chronic alive and picking. But Chronic is napping right now. Full Matrix, full shield coming out. Kufa will bubble on that one. Painkiller is going to catch the nade here. Actually tries to miss Matrix left out. Does actually manage to save everyone. Actually punish Zero for that. So close to going down left, but Rad, they've weathered the storm. Sorry, as soon as I see Hunter's name, the words weathering the storm, words just enter my head. But a good opening pick here, but Kuffer's going to keep going. Manages to trade out Lep, so 4v4 situation as Painkiller tries just to get some separation onto the backline, but Kuffer is just cleaning everything up right now. Dive coming into its own, and we're going to see Z on the run, trying to get themselves out here alongside Painkiller, but Kuffer is good for the chase. A little bit of bubble here, runs into a Torp turret, and actually runs into a whole lot of trouble right there. Full Matrix on the heels, and it will be a one-way trip. One-way trip for Kuffer. They do have Nano Primal coming back right now, but Rad, Torp Swap coming into play as well. We'll have a chance now to, not Torp Swap, sorry. But Torp in play in general, just keep making Kuffer's life hard, but his ults are going to be really good. Lethal has the EMP ready to go. Just going to send it around the corner, are they? The backline's going the other way, but Lethal's red for rotation. He's just going to EMP the front line, though. Looks like Painkiller will go down. Z has the Ray to try and turn if they want, but they've lost Painkiller for it. And there is a Nano Primal coming on, so I guess Rad Esports are just going to say, okay, if you're going to drop 3 ults for nothing, I guess you can capture first point. So, a huge ult investment there from Nightmare to secure the first fight, but they're going to be in a bit of an ult hole for a while right now. You normally talk about some of these ults as sort of rotating them and looking for good value. Nightmare do have the Blade and the Rally here, so next fight is clutchable with this. Dive now onto the Torp right now. Kufra is going to force him back, but can't get any more out of that. Rad Esports are going to use this as a chance to rotate. Whip shot is... Oh, well, the whip shot saves him from the damage, but Zero's going to kill him while Lep goes for that. They have used the Ray here. The Ray's moving away from point, and this Ray is just kind of being sent into the ether. A useless Ray. Now the Blade will come in over the top, and Nightmare are going to get themselves out of this difficult ult situation, it looks like. Blade's going to be good for a couple. Painkiller will have to reset, and that Ray was wasted. And Rad still have an overwhelming ult advantage here. But Nightmare have done well to get anything out of these situations. And all of a sudden, UV getting back up to a Nano. Maybe they can hit the ult cycle again. Really important fight for Nightmare. Rad Esports have really big chance gone begging for him in all of that. Trying to retake through the far side here. Maybe a bit of a map flip coming out for them here. Just trying to put themselves in a situation where they can force UV to a less powerful nade position. But UV's good for the flip, and King is going to struggle on this rotation. Rally not in time to save it. Just a little bit slow. They've swung out to point, but there is more pressure onto this Juno. Bash comes in from Admiral looking for it. Whip shot off the map is wide, but they've lost Z in all of this. Chronicles pop the overclock, but they need kills. They need them soon. Yeah, that was quite nice, actually. Dive now into Zero with the Nano. Will get the kill. Trying to kill the baby as well. Look out for the bomb! Bomb will trade it out here, and actually Lep hits the break cap onto Admiral as well. UV is alive on point, but here we go. King's going to dip his toes on with his turret right now. Has that full Juno pocket too. Nade comes out. It's good actually from UV as well. Kufra will follow up onto that kill. Lep is going to try and swing onto point, but a very hard fight for Lep to take. Keeps trying to trigger the overtime. Kufra just doing a once round the corner. Lethal's going to die for that. Can they get the touch? They can't get the touch. The cap has gone through. I think they would have won that fight in the long run potentially, but Nightmare good for 2. And now a long way back for Rad Esports. Struggled in the first fight. Struggled to convert their ult advantage even when they had it. Oh, needing that water. Yeah, now a tough situation for Rad. They've got the Molten Core to try and force point here, but again, Kuffa's coming in from behind. Molten Core will clear that bubble, but Kuffa's got the Primal Rage if he gets into trouble. He's going to try and not use it, though. The chase is on, hiding behind this, but has the Primal, and King is going to get taken for a ride here. This Torb is... Oh, no, misses the Juggle, actually, Kuffa. Just going to have to be a 1-for-1 ult trade Molten Core for Primal. Trying to use that heavy landing damage here, Kufa, to see if he can get any of that. Doesn't find any of it, but Blade and Nano are very, very close to the horizon. Jump in from Kufa. Nade is good from UV again. This Biotic Bounce, I presume he has it. Yeah, Biotic Bounce and the Strike from him, and the job's going to be done. Ray was invested by Z as well, and it's all falling apart for Rad, and all of a sudden that very... that map that Rad actually won on the pool, all of that seems to have gone. The Ana Brig is causing them all sorts of problems on this map. Nade into spawn as well. Is Matrix, so I think they will be able to get everyone out of this one. Lep will be coming back with Rally, but Rally into Nanoblade. We only need one fight to win this map, Nightmare. So all eyes on Zera, because this feels like it's going to be the close. The nade is massive. Gargantuan, if you will. Zera comes in with this one, cleans everything up. Decimated. Painkiller, it's Painkiller behind, so it's going to be a staggered death as well. Painkiller trying to get in a position to try and trigger overtime right now. Needs it to be to 97%, though I think they may be killed before Painkiller got... Oh no, did get the overtime trigger, so Painkiller actually good for the touch. That's the least of their problems, as no one's going to be able to get the follow-up touch, though. Alright. Answered with authority in that. Answered with authority. Is Winston Ana Brig back? No, I think just trying to play a comp. I think they thought without the Lucio they could get away with it, and it turns out they're kind of true. You know, if you're playing like a Kiri Lucio version of that, it probably feels a lot worse for Nightmare. So I think really reasonable bans. Sets up a situation that's good for him. Was surprised not to see Painkiller try the Hazard at some point into that. Feel like that can make the Ana Brig a little scarier in a lot of these situations. Can still do a lot to bully the Winston. But really have to talk about... You know, we talked about the UV and Admiral having a really rough map 1. But, great redemption there. I mean, Admiral, more for UV. I think UV was really good. All the nades. Big impact on those dives. Set up nicely. What am I doing? Nightmare complete. Let's get this map going as well. Alright, let me drop you an ad break as well while I go top up my water. And then we can lock in for this next one, okay, chat? Right back. Just in time. What the predictions saying? 69% Nightmare. I mean, that was a fairly dominant win there on that map. Ban-wise, and a ban from Rad. One has taken that away from UV was causing him plenty of problems, so seems fair enough. Tor ban in response from Nightmare implies they want to play Hazard instead. Obviously, they won, did pretty reasonably on that Hazard mirror. Did they? Oh, I'm making it up. I'm making it up a little bit. We only saw like we only saw a very little bit of it. Did we even see any of it? Maybe not. Oh, I'm lost in the source now. Brain has become a colander as we've entered the the last match of the day. What are the good Ana perks? Yeah, the Nano's really good. The double Nano one, the Shrike. Both the minor perks, I think, have reasonable use. I think we've seen a few people using Groggy. Most use Probiotic Bounce, but the Groggy seems particularly good against certain comps, like Ball especially. Really good for. Alright, locking in. Closing the Preds. And it will be Hazard coming out from Rad Esports, so maybe trying to exploit that Tor ban their own. Kufa wants to play Ram into this as well. Trying to go aggressive here with his first one, but Kufa is about to run out of his form. Has to be careful. They killed Z, so it's been more than worth it. Painkiller's going to get forced back. No escape here, surely, though. And a good early form. Good early form. King's good for one trade. Won't be able to hunt down any more kills, Nightmare. Good first fight. More of this Hazard. Painkiller not swapping. Yeah, I agree, Sebs. Shout out to the YouTube chat, it's still in play. People still believing in Rad. Now slow on to Z again, trying to force out those cooldowns early. Happy to trade here, Kufa aggressively onto the Hazard. Anytime he trains cooldowns with the Hazard, that's one less time the Hazard can engage. Boot back now, but Chronic's going to finish that kill off actually there. Don't know if Admiral got the exact boost he wanted. And good retake coming through this room right now. King will get traded, but Lep is trying to respond to that one. Z takes care of that. Kufa is in deep looking for trades, but Lep's going to play his life, regroup with his team. They can come back and deal with Kufa. Lep will come and finish the job. Pocket everyone up, and they can get some meters on the board. Now Rad. Now we're coming up to the first ult. First perks will be coming online as well. And actually, wait a second. Lep and Chronic have died. Wait a second. Zera and Admiral have bailed themselves out of this one. The trades are good. And all of a sudden, Rad aren't going to get very many meters on the board. Just 6 before they have to give it up. Zera's turned this one around, getting himself nice and close to that blade as well. But it's the Annihilation from Kufa that's actually going to be up first. And as they try and store the payload out now, Kufa's going to be looking for another aggressive timing once he's back in the fight. Up onto the high ground. Wall actually onto Lethal in the back here. Painkiller's trying to make the first move, but great chance to respond with this Annihilation. Kitsune Rush comes out, but not in time to save Painkiller. And now Kufa maybe doesn't even need the Annihilation. They're just going to wait out this Kitsune Rush. Now he pops it as he goes low. Boot back is good by Admiral. They're trying to chase down his kills. They will still be able to chase it down. Amp is good from Admiral. Sorry, it's the boot back by Lep there. Peeled him for a second, but Admiral had the amp in, and that allows the Annihilation just to run deep into the backline, find all those trade kills. Alright, now we cap for Nightmare. Double support ult in the back pocket as well, so Nightmare in a pretty strong position right now to take a significant lead with this fight. Overclock early as well. Lethal spots an opportunity, not one to pass up an opportunity. Slides in, Dink there as well. No kills for Lethal here. They've gained decent meters off it, and they've still got the ults to win this trade, honestly. The fact that they've got the Ray, the Blade, and the Beat should put them over the edge. They're going to use that aggressively. Downpour comes out right now, locks up some key targets, but Zero's already got the Blade in the back. Now groups into the Ray, forces the TP out of Z. Don't know if they can confirm the kill. Suzu has now been used. King is low. Gets the finishing blow. Z in big trouble right now. TP away one more time. Painkiller is looking for these trades. No good though. Lethal will survive. More meters on the board very quickly. And Nightmare. Wow. It's not taken long for him to amass a massive lead. Fucking, where's my Theosaurus? To amass a grand lead. This guy knows English. Kufa is already in the backline though. They don't have any ults for this, so they're just going to try and double down onto Chronic. Chronic's going to slide behind deeper. Nice shot onto Admiral right there. Takes him out of the air. Full pocket for Chronic to get him through this one. And Rad Esports have their first clean fight win. But 117 meters down, it's been a long time coming for Rad Esports, and they've got a long way back. They have Kitsune Rush advantage for the next fight here, so just going to look to try and connect on that one here. Probably trade some cooldowns, look to maybe punish Kufa off the back there. Lucio Genji flank. Just trying to maintain this mega control right now. You see Nightmare going to actually roll up with Kufa up there. Kufa's actually trying to go aggressive. The enemy team's high ground here. Brad needs to be careful they don't get too split on this one. But Lep and King have grouped up, ready to go again. Kufa will be anchoring point, but Kitsune Rush is available. Slow onto Z to try and force these cooldowns. Pressure onto them in the back here. Z still has a Kitsune Rush, but they've won the battle on the side fight as well. Lep with that pick onto Zera, and Kufa's just going to die, and they get this one for free. Huge win for Rad Esports, because they've not just won the fight without any trades, they've won the fight without using any ults. That's a girthy lead. Thank you, Raddy. You guys are my Theosaurus in this one. Annihilation coming up for Kufa now, so they have a bit more of a response to this one, but Kitsune Rush can still do a lot of damage to that Annihilation. Trying to clear out and win the side fight for him now. They want to contest before it, and wow, it's going to be a Lucio Genji. They have dived out hard here. King's going to match that position. Kitsune Rush in response right now. They will force them back, but Kufa doesn't seem that committed. Now the overclock from Lethal. Aggressive swing coming in. Annihilation to keep going as well. They're trying to chase it. They just want to full disengage here. Rad slow and defensive wall doesn't quite get them out. The Annihilation still going. Diving deeper for this backline. They keep going. Admiral good for the 2 finishing blows, and they should clean everything up here. Good catch from Nightmare there. The turn there with their ults. Cost them 2, obviously. 2 for 1 exchange, but really not too shabby. Rad Esports, still healthy ult back coming into this, but UV's come up to that Ray turn again, and we've seen when one team's running a Juno and the other is not, the Ray turn can be so powerful. Ray Blade versus Beat Blade. Unless Painkiller can interrupt with a downpour, it could be an ugly one. UV's going to start. Downpour comes out. Lep comes all the way around the corner, catches everyone with that, so beat trades are good. King has the Blade. Zera has the Blade. We'll come down to this right now. Eyes on both Genjis. Zera just stacked with his team right now. Painkiller taking a lot of damage on the walk up. Zera's going to try and respond to this one. Follow the Blade in. Will trade King for that one. So 1-for-1 trade, but King gets to live and keep slashing, and he will clean everything up right now. 1 trade onto Lethal won't be enough to stop this progress, and Rad Esports are in a desperate situation, looking like a full push. No ults to respond with right now. Lethal has gone on to Tracer to try and come back faster. King goes for it. Boot back now, but Z gets on. Has to TP out of that one. They need a touch in all of this. They're coming forward. Chronic has popped the overclock. Chronic is good for 1 onto UV, actually. Nightmare are trying to disengage by the skin of their pearly whites. They've hung onto this one, but they dive now into Chronic. Chronic needs more pocket out of this. They punish Zera for that aggression. Lethal was doubled down as well, as is Kufa, all over Chronic, who slides back into spawn. Got the double thrusters right now. So can slide around a lot. Lethal is hiding. Just going to try and turn this into a flank position. Don't know what he's hoping to catch. He's just going to use this as a big flank, actually. I don't think Rad Esports are aware Lethal is there. An almighty comeback required for Rad to keep themselves alive in this series. Kitsune Rush push to keep it going. Kufa responds to the Annihilation. Lep gets deleted right now. Tracer coming in the back. Lethal will finish off Z as well. No backline from this one. And they win another Kitsune Rush versus Annihilation trade here, Nightmare. They've been good for this one every single time. When Kufa pops that Annihilation, it can make it really hard to stay on that Kitsune Rush. So they all have to scatter. They force the TP out of Z. They force Lep to disengage. And then Kufa gets that amp in from Admiral. Keeps chasing down the kills. And now beat advantage for Admiral here, and this time Chronic keeps bailing them out at the last possible seconds here, but Rad once again backed against the wall. They're going to need even more from Chronic. Lethal trying to flank in from this left-hand side right now. Or at least play a bit of the off angle. Will take the high ground. Dash comes through from King to try and deal with that. Pulse bomb comes out. Doesn't connect though from Lethal. Will be forced back to the Mega. The rest of the exchange is going on point. Admiral nearly has this beat right now. Rad Esports desperately short to some of their ults. UV's 1 HP in the back, but does manage to survive. Painkiller is not done yet. Looking for this wall timing onto Kufa. Forces him back. Admiral now has the beat. Beat push coming in. Painkiller has the downpour. Needs to try and land it. Catches UV. Trade is going to be good from Painkiller. He's kept point anchored during all of this as well. Important downpour from him. Another good kill from Painkiller as well. Lands the meat shot here. And Rad Esports, you put their backs against the wall and they will stand strong. The problem is, they are still 100 meters down as we enter this final minute. They need to start winning fights that aren't at their spawn door. I see people crying winnable. They've got the ult back. They've got both support ults, both DPS ults. Lethal will be making his way back onto Sojourn for this one. Okay. Walking through. UV has the Ray here. I think if I'm Nightmare, I want to use, maybe even just use Ray Blade. And if it costs Rad to over-invest, I'm really happy with it. Beat will come through first from Lep. Ray comes out in response. Blade there as well from King, trying to find the connect. Looking through, slashing through. Takes UV out of that Ray right now. King will survive. Zera's trying to respond. Trades go a long way, but they've won that one actually. And they only use 2 ults for it. Just need to avoid trades right now. One more form from Kuffer does get Chronic. That's a painful one as well. We're actually going to try and stagger out the RAM a little bit. Okay. Chronic has respawned. We'll be racing through that mega side to try and regroup with their team. Rad Esports will get the checkpoint as we enter overtime, but we are far from over yet.
My ultimate is ready.
Kuffer has the Annihilation. We've seen Kuffer very effectively win these Kitsune Rush versus Annihilation trades before. Looking for the same here. Nightmare in no rush. Actually, they're going to go high ground. They flip the map massively. Rad Esports are going to drop the Kitsune Rush and move away. Kusra is trying to close the distance. Forces the TP out here. Trying to chase it down right now. Annihilation onto Leppy. Boops him back, but Lethal finishes the job. Chronic shut down immediately after using that overclock. And again, Annihilation beats the Kitsune Rush. Probably a bit early from Z in reality. They were all kind of low, so it feels hard not to use it, really. But every time they got in that ult situation, Nightmare come up trumps. And that happened, what, at least 3 times? Maybe even more across the course of that series. So just like that, Nightmare are good for it. They close it out 3-1. And alright. Alright. Finally at 200k. Nicely done, Puika. Oh, wait, that was only 2-1. I literally, in my head. Yeah. Honestly, was so ready to clock out. Oh, last game of the day feeling, huh? Last game of the day feeling. Was the Genji game good? Yeah, I think it was an entertaining series. Really impressive performance coming out from. But yeah, I think it's worth watching. I think to be fair, actually EMEA was pretty good today, no? Pretty good all round. We get the where am I going? Get the stats for that one. All right. So even though we went kind of a distance, and it was a bit of a late overtime push, really felt overwhelming for Nightmare and a lot of that. Lethal on 19 and 4. Slight damage gap on Chronic as well. 0, 20, and 7. Yeah, not over, like pretty similar numbers across the board, really. Just came to so many of those ult trades. So many of those ult trades end up going Nightmare's way, the real difference maker. No Kitsune Rush success there. A little bit surprised not to see Z swap off onto the Juno at any point. I've got the map pick yet. Maybe I can catch up. Can I catch up a little bit? Oh, there we go. Jump into the future. Oh, I forgot to type the stream title as well. Fortunate streamer. Not the first time, not the last time. Alright, boost 66 for Rad. I guess they want to keep forcing more of the hazard. Have we had a hazard ban out yet? Let me go back a second. Oh, we've not got the main screen. All the previous bans. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Oh, it's not up to date on Wikipedia either. I won't be doing it the old-fashioned way. I'll just have to wait for the broadcast to bring up the next screen. So yeah, presumption here is Rad want to go the hazard route during all of this. And maybe not just go the hazard route, but go a hazard route where actually the Ram doesn't feel like a viable option for Kufa. And Route 66 probably falls into that category. Rad are actually going to ban Winston as well, which maybe would have been another pick they sort of segued into in terms of just playing like Winston and a Brig or something of the sort instead on Route 66. So they ban out the Winston, Kiriko ban in response from Nightmare. I don't know if that changes anything too much, honestly. Obviously, it feels like Z does prefer the Kiriko to the Juno, but as much as, at least so far in this series, it feels Z hasn't been playing it as much, I think Z's Juno is really fine. So I don't think I'm too worried about this one if I'm Rad, and Rad should get the matchup they want out of this. Maybe just a bit of a hazard mirror. Obviously, must be said now they're still in control of that one. Lean into UV nade timings, no cleanse. Yeah, it's a reasonable option. They could just play like a Lucio Anna instead. Maybe even yeah, maybe Lucio Anna. I feel like we've seen Nightmare doing that a few times before. I don't know if in the hazard mirror, just over time, it's not as viable. Let's see what they go for. Oh, all right. Defensive comps out. Might just be Lucio Anna from both here. Obviously, still have the option to swap it here. Nightmare. Diva is the choice from Painkiller here. Kufa going to consider the Zarya. I'm not buying it. I feel like it's just going to be bubbles out of spawn more than anything. Alright, stocking up on water, ready to go. Yeah, Kufa onto the hazard. It will be Anna Brig coming out in the end. Anna Lucio on the other side of things. Alright, no forward hold here from Nightmare. Want to play the further back high ground, keep that Anna Brig safe on that one. See what they can do. Kufa will be forced out a little bit of a back jump. It's going to be Genji, Ash as well in all of this too. For now, it looks like... Whoa, wait, Lep's going to get caught, actually. They were so desperate for that Zero kill, but Zero manages to get out and kill Lep. King's going to die as well. Oh, and this hold is just falling apart right now. Mistake on the side fight, and it just snowballs into an entire crumble of the defense. And because they went for the one good hold, but they get 0 good holds out of that good position, Rad Esports are going to be left with a difficult retake right now. Lethal keen to try and get any early damage or early dynamite as his payload is getting rushed in. Halfway to Eva Nano right now, so no ults just yet. They try and come through the choke. Painkiller has taken so much damage already. Slash on, defensive nade comes through. Dynamite as well. It's a dash in for the touch right now, but King is going to need so much help. They can't give King the help, and they're just going to die coming in, and this is going to be one of the easiest first points on Route 66 you're ever going to see. Ult's coming up. Z actually has that quicker ult, maybe just because had to get through so much healing, and Hazard will, Painkiller will take the Hazard mirror. Painkiller obviously one of a really good Hazard, so I don't think you hate this if you're Rad Esports. But I feel like the difference maker when we've seen some of these comps in play has actually just been UV on the Anna in these situations. Zero camping the high ground here, looking for the Lucio, but Lep just kind of walks through unscathed. Now actually chasing Zero out, if you can believe it, but Lethal's got the pick during all of this. Painkiller tries to respond, but forced backwards. Nano available for both Annas. Little bit of wall onto Kufa right now. Getting some chip damage onto Kufa. Down to half HP, but UV has gotten this better position now for the Nano. Looking for an engage timing potentially. Going to be onto Zero right now. Has the blade if he needs it. Pops onto the Lucio. One more dash out. King still has the deflect though. Deflect's free of the slashes. Chase in. Counter Nano is good actually from Z onto King. And King gets the punish onto Zero. They've won that trade. There's a Bob on the high ground. Now stop Rad Esports going for too much more right now. And the payload is moving through all of this, so it's one fight territory right now. The Painkiller can swing out. Bob will fade now. And a chance for him to try and take some more space. Slash onto the high ground. And Lethal's found another pick right now. Desperate pocket coming in. Dive in from King, trying to find these kills. Lethal is there. Sidewinder out from him. Sleeper's wide onto Painkiller, actually, but the damage might be done. UV is going to live thanks to Admiral's rally. And now the rest of Nightmare, they can all flood forward. Nade comes out, doesn't catch Painkiller, but still peeking for it. Worth saying UV has the groggy perk here instead of a biotic nade one here. So if that hazard ever comes onto him, hits the sleep, real chance for a nade punish killing these. Walter deny UV a little bit of position, but the nade connects onto Painkiller. They've not been able to close it out from here, though, Nightmare. Downpour comes through from Kuffer, and he connects, catches for Lucio. Lep's going to go for the beat just to try and save his own life. Does save his own life with it as well, but this beat has been used only to live. Rad Esports cannot push with it at all. UV's getting close to another nano timing. Dynamite onto point, helps sets up that kill, and Lethal just seems uncontested on the high ground right now, and that knows Zero and Kuffer every time they take this attention. Lethal's just free shooting up there, gets all the cleanup kills, a quick second point for Nightmare in all of this, and all of a sudden that round one success feels like a distant memory for Rad Esports. They have Nano, Blade, Downpour all coming back, chances to stabilize, chances to win fights, but we're looking at a 4-minute hold situation to recover here for Rad Esports. UV will back it up, getting very close to a Nano of his own. Blade, Nano Blade comes in actually. Sleep is deflected. And so King will be good for that. They've lost Z during all of this. Not the cleanest fight considering Rad Esports Nano Blade for this. 2 trades going both ways. Zero looking for more as well. Dash through. Kuffer is still in there. Will get taken down eventually. Zero's actually getting a little bit of pocket right now, so they can't even confirm that kill. And that's an expensive way to still start concede meters immediately for Rad. Blade available now for Zero. Nano Blade turn of their own. There's a little Travelator above Zero right now. Now the Nano comes in. He's quite far back from everything right now. Looks for Lep. Gets the Lep kill. Pulls for Blade. Looks for more. Sojin slides in. Got that groggy perk. Oh, actually, that was UV. I don't know if Z has it as well. Zero will wake up from that one. And Painkiller has traded UV during all of this. So they're making it a dodgy fight. Whip from Admiral will connect, but no follow-up right now. They're stuck on the flank a little bit now, and Kuffer is separated from the heels, so he's going to try and regroup with his team. Admiral throwing packs to everyone. Lep's going to get traded. 1-for-1 trade, both favors for defenders. Nightmare have to consider a backstep right now. They have Bob and Rally to turn, so Rally Sports have to be careful not to go too far right now.
She's gonna blow.
Just take what they've got, stabilize, try and get to their Nano, try and get to the beat right now. Time is Rad's friend right now. Slow fights to build their ults, more time off the clock, all looking good. Amp forward a little bit right now. Painkiller's going to get slept as well. That is going to be groggy and a nade right now. Downpour to finish the kill. Slash out though. Deflect is good. Painkiller still dies regardless though. And Kuffer's still looking for more. King has found a trade. Admiral's going to rally to keep this push going. Wall is good. Slash connects as well from Kuffer. No escape for Chronic right now. There is a nano onto King. Any trade is good. Trying to get the blade out now as well. Onto Admiral. Goes for whip shot. Will fall. Catches both backliners here. King sets this one up, and the nade won't slow him down. The blade, well, the nano and the blade, good enough for Rad to stabilize that. And all of a sudden, this 4-minute time bank has become a 2-minute time bank. Nep has the beat in the back pocket as well. And all right. Rad Esports starting to find their footing. Lethal onto his Sombra. Nade will come out, forces him to translocate. They're trying to scout him out of this one. Will expire, so Lethal will have to try and line up the next engage. Just trying to spam and farm ultimate right now. Rad Esports, they have ult advantage, but don't want to force anything they don't have to. Nade onto Kuffer. Overclock actually from Chronic. Kuffer is stuck in the corner. Kuffer is so low, surely goes down in this situation. Full block, nano turn. Now Chronic has to slide back. Doesn't have the double thrusters yet. Still getting to his third perk. The sleep bow buys him enough space and time. They've still lost King. Now Kuffer is going forward. Another nade comes out. Waiting for this mega. They beat back right now. Wall buys Kuffer enough time for it. That catches Painkiller on the way out as well. The beat did not get the value they were looking for. Now a blade from Zero to try and finish the job. All over it with Kuffer. Eyes on this Sojin, but doesn't have a dash to close the distance. Wall blocks the exit though, so it's a slide to the other door for Chronic, but still dies. Now the sleep they can't touch. Dash onto point from King. He can get the touch. Painkiller can take over now. Nearly has the downpour, but he needs so much help right now. Painkiller full blocking, just trying to play his life. His toes are getting shot right now. Wall to cut off that sideline. Downpour comes out as well. Does it find anyone right now? Painkiller is naded. Chronic can take over the touch, but UV still just potting everyone. Z nearly has the nano, but the EMP comes out and Z will die before they can get it. Now the beats to surely finish the job. Just King left. The Nightmare are good for it. Yeah, but really had to work for that in the end, actually. Don't know if you feel that great about that, given the massive time bank, but a completion on Route 66 is still a completion on Route 66. First time play from Amogus. We're not playing right now, we're watching the Overwatch. Will there be an Ash ban at the wedding? Yeah, I don't think any Overwatch is going to be played at the wedding, so maybe the entire game is banned. Probably just a no computer situation. It's not going to be a BYOC type wedding. I do, Jacob. I feel like half of my Discord just routinely take it in turns to check if I'm looking at YouTube chat, but that time, Jacob, you have to admit, I was awfully quick to notice that one on YouTube chat. Awfully quick. No, there was a point in time when my best man was organising my stag do, and there was this TF2 land in Poland that maybe we were going to see if it lined up, and it didn't line up in the end, but there was a world where my stag do was going to be we're going to go to Poland, probably play like 5 games of TF2, get eliminated in groups, and then just go on the piss. But couldn't find the timing lineup. All right, Lucio, Anna from both teams right now. Early Rail's going to force Admiral to DP. Disruptor shot doesn't land where Chronic wants it. Actually wanted it near in the back of that point. Instead, though, they're still trying to fight from this coast area. Kufa's trying to hold it for him. Nade is a miss, actually, from UV and all of that. Keeps everyone pocketed up, but there is a Genji above him, so has to be careful. Kufa's going to try and respond to that, but they have slowly but surely forced him back here. Rad Esports. Lots of low health, actually, on Nightmare. So if we can keep pushing this advantage, Nade catches Painkiller. This will slow down their advance. They're happy to keep trading. Boot back in and the wall as well. Kufa's in big trouble now. Nice little setup. Lev gets punished for it, though. So even though it looked good for a second there, they win the HP trade on the front line. Lep finds the kill, and Zera's able to get a second one as well. Back to spawn for Rad Esports. Nade is good onto Chronic. Easy one for Zera and all of that. Painkiller's going to fall late here as well, I think. Double pocket coming in. Tries to dash back into spawn. All there to break the sight line, and the spawn hold can be re-established from Nightmare right now. Alright, Nano up from Z and UV right now. Got to be worth noting Admiral has, what is that, a 35% beat advantage? Looking for their opportunity right now, potentially onto Painkiller, potentially onto King. Backline is quite far away right now, though. Boot back onto that Nano, so Kufa doesn't find the engage he wants, and they're going to actually just disengage this Nano fully. Counter Nano now onto Painkiller. Downpour is available. Defensive nade onto Painkiller right now. Kufa has taken so much damage. Beat comes through, saves Kufa's life for now, but Kufa is still in a state of disrepair. Overclock to try and save his life. Kufa is still alive, and it's Painkiller who dies in the train. The overclock stops anyone swinging to help Painkiller, and they have bailed Kufa out of that situation. The spawn hold continues. Force back into spawn one more time. Kufa camping the high ground. He's on the roofs, do they know? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. There's the downpour, waits for the slide, but Chronic just walks away. Kufa thought he was the smarter one. He gets the kill anyway. A bit of help from Lethal. Sleep onto Kufa right now. 100 HP will get traded by Z, actually, and all of that. An important trade, actually. And finally, Rad Esports can start to move this payload past the, maybe even past the corner a little bit. Kufa has spawned now, on their way back to the fight quickly. Entering this big ult trade, Lep would be advantage. UV, he nearly has a second Nano, so a Nano blade is really possible here for Nightmare. Final minute on the clock as well for Rad Esports, unless they can extend that time. Nade comes through, catches Kuffer as they try and trade this one. Kuffer drops the blade, beat blade to keep going all over UV as well. Can't use that nano. But actually, I think Nightmare are really happy with this. They're going to accept that the beat blade was used to go around this corner. They're going to trade Z again. So it's more difficult to set up for a forward nade. And now, Nightmare, it's just a nano blade retake. Intelligent decision from Nightmare, setting themselves up an overwhelming ult advantage situation for this retake. All they need is Zero to connect and land with this nano blade. Chronic has the overclock coming back. Z nearly has the defensive nano. A defensive nano could actually go really hard here. Maybe if Chronic overclocks, they drop that defensive nano, it can counter up the nano blade. I can see a world where it happens right now. Z has it ready to go. Nano is definitely going on to Zero right now. Double nano comes out as well. Defensive one, but he goes for the Ana instead. Sleep is wide from Z. They just ignore the nano overclock, but you can't ignore a nano overclock forever. Chronic's going to get free. Looking for it again. Chronic had a clean clip on Route 66 first point yesterday, and the cap has gone through during all of this as well, and Chronic is good for it. Don't mess about with Chronic on first point, Route 66. And even though Zero gets the kills, the value's just outweighed. And they get themselves over the line. Rad Esports can continue this map, but now will be low on time for this next point. Ult advantage for Nightmare in the form of overclock MB. Chronic is going to be forced to slide out already. Little dink on the fadeaway there. And they're going to try and rotate Moat to this left-hand side right now, see if they can find Chronic another opportunity. Lethal, on the other hand, happy to peek main. Dink onto both DPS, forces them to disengage. Conceded a lot of space now, Rad Esports. But nade is good downtown from UV to finish off 2. Power position for UV. And we've seen him every time he's on Ana. Honestly, he's the most impactful player on the server. Continues his good run here. Now 1 minute and 20 seconds. And most importantly, no ults really used for that in Nightmare. So now it's a beat, it's a downpour, it's an overclock. Rad are desperately short. They've gone onto D.Va right now. Maybe just try and help them disengage. Maybe eat the downpour, eat some of the overclock. I mean, they need a lot, honestly. Coming back in, wall onto Kuffer just to try and isolate the backline. Overclock comes out from Lethal, trying to find something. Painkiller can use that Matrix, and they do disengage this one, but Lethal, he's looking for more. I don't think they expect this. Lethal's going to peek out. There we go. Oh, just about avoids the downpour. Can't find the kill onto Z. A Rad Esports. They've dodged 2 of the ults. King with a blade right now. Lethal's trying to juke it. Matrix comes out. Counter nano onto Lethal as well. UV's got that nano as 2 because of a perk, and Lethal's going to slide it in one more time. Hasn't got the double thrusters perk, instead has the adhesive siphon, I want to say. Beat push now from Admiral to keep trading for kills. We're into the final 25 seconds. Nade is good again, and the ult is just overwhelming. Was that? Sounded a little bit Ajaxy, no? Sounded a little bit Ajaxy. Yep, just disappears before it even starts. I mean, the car's pretty far back here. Nep's going to try and go for a rollout. See, I don't know why he tried that clutch beat when they should be able to get the touch. Yeah, they get the touch. Would be nice to have a beat right about now. No, they at least have the nano, and Chronic is going to be good for one. Can Chronic just keep doing it again? Okay, he can keep doing it again. What if Chronic just soloed Nightmare? It's not impossible. Zero's going to reset off the map. Kuffer's going to die here. And alright, Chronic actually has overclocked for this retake. It's a blade from Zero, but they've got no nano. They've got no beat to support this blade right now, Nightmare. Overtime spawns as well. I mean, it is just going to be a one-fight situation. And Chronic could do it again. Overclock in hand. All eyes on Chronic. Trying to figure out which way Zero's coming from. Sounds like a deflect was used on the left, but I'm not sure which Genji it was. Now they come out, nade early onto it as well. Just going to pump the damage into Kuffer right now, finish him off there. Also low. Zero's going to get taken down. No chance to use the blade. And Chronic's just good for it again. Oh my god, he goes and takes the duel with Lethal as well. Disruptor shot is out. Full pocket for Chronic, and he's done it again. Okay. They've not got nano, and they've not got overclock. So Rad Esports don't have a way to turbocharge Chronic in this next fight. But he's given them a lifeline that it really doesn't look like they were going to get. Nightmare have both DPS ults and downpour, and again, it's overtime for both these points, so Rad Esports are really low on time for this third point. Chronic is swinging top left right now, has the double thrusters, can't escape that one. It's a clean blade from Zero, a nice little double kill. Allows him to stabilize out the choke, and Z has no way out of this one. Final 50 seconds, nano nearly up for Z. King getting closer to the blade, but they've gone for a bit of a spawn camp here. Admiral and Zero are camping above the spawn. Left-hand side of the spawn is Kuffer. Downpour is available. They're actually just going to amp out onto Kuffer right now. Try and hit the nade. Try and clear him. Downpour to try and turn it, but Downpour has caught everyone. Absolutely everyone here. And it's going to be another one fight and done here for Nightmare as they continue to hold the spawn. Didn't lose anybody. The touch is going to be maximum difficulty right now. Rad Esports, probably a Nano Genji. Hope King gets the blade. Painkiller or Leb maybe need to try and sneak with the touch while this goes on. Very difficult fight for Rad Esports. Nes the Nano onto King. Coming through. Eyes onto Lethal. Does Lethal have another slash? Defensive Nano onto Lethal right now. Lethal has the overclock as well. They've killed Admiral and they have secured the touch right now in form of Painkiller. Now the overclock from Lethal. Painkiller is trying to run. Does have the self-destruct. Slides it down. Chronic onto the high ground. 1 HP. Lethal deals with that. Painkiller gets back into mech. King has Blade coming back and they're not too far from the spawn. Sleep on point, but Painkiller is still contesting right now. Painkiller keeping it contested. Now King going for the clutch right now. 1 slash for Boop is good, but B as well. Admiral saves them all from that Blade. A wall off onto him, but Painkiller's kept it contested, honestly. Left is coming back, 20% away from B, and Painkiller can keep this contested for ages, actually. They're trying to kill on the background line instead. They dropped on there. Kuffer's looking for it. King's going to get pocketed out of this one. Left is getting very close to beat right now. They're going to lose King, but they have the beat right now. Catches are not in time to save the mech, though. In Baby Diva, they need to try and find kills with this beat if they can. Kuffer's coming back to deal with it. No kills just yet, and UV is beaming everyone down. Lethal good for 2. That will seal it in the end. Ooh. And, I mean, Chronic made it. Chronic made it. A tight on Route 66. All right. Good night, Banter Life. Good night. Ooh. NM wins. Would they not just use... Why wouldn't they just use Nightmare? Just use all 4 letters, I reckon. All right. All right. I think that's just as done, honestly, right? I guess we'll hang around for the interview for a little bit while we sort of like wind down from this. I have some free time this weekend. Would you be interested in any visualizations or analysis for a pick and ban spreadsheet? Yeah, I was thinking, because I was wanting to make another spreadsheet, because obviously what this doesn't have is like, the comp database spreadsheet is laid out very much to see the comps, but it's not, I don't think it compiles very well into, like win and loss rates and stuff like this. So I was thinking of making another database, but that's maybe more of a next week project, rather than on the weekend. All right, good night, Puika. See you in the morning. But yeah, if you got some ideas, I'm happy to take them, or happy to let you have a crack. Remind me on Discord, and I can give you access to the spreadsheet, so like make a copy or add a tab or whatever's easiest. Or just actually DM me your email is probably the easiest thing, and I'll give you rights. Should I invite Chronic to the wedding? Yeah, I mean. I don't know if I want a guy who's so good at shooting people in the head at a wedding, you know? Feels like an unnecessary skill to have at a wedding. Cool, catch you there, Arthur. Yeah, you're not wrong, actually, Pineapple. I think the cart was so far back, they could have really extended that fight. So it didn't feel necessary at all. Well, always felt uphill, didn't it, on Route 66, though? It was like clutches that were saving Rad Esports, rather than they're sort of back in this series.
UV is joining us for a quick chat. Question mark, exclamation mark. There he is, Ultraviolet. Congratulations on the dub. Another one in the book for you guys. What was your approach heading into this week? Did you feel like you need to make big changes given the perks, or did you already figure out in scrims that it's not going to affect composition choices, for example, too much?
I like playing Ana. I think the perks are pretty good for her, so yeah, I try to
Yeah, that
move
nade
Ana a
bounce
little bit
is
today.
nasty. I don't like it.
Let's talk about that real quick. Suravasa was disgusting. That was a disgusting map. You actually brought the Winston Ana combo back in. Is that really like very niche situational as a result of like bans, or do you think that that is a combo that we might see more of now? Because you guys obviously have like a
What's
great
Wheats
dive
up
core
to?
on your team with Cuffers Winston. You
Keep
got
your
Zeus
eyes on
Genji,
Wheats in this
you're
one.
on the Ana, and obviously with the weight of everyone's perks behind them, seems like it's pretty viable, and it crushed them on that map.
Yeah, I'd say I'm confident on my teammates, like on those heroes, but also just like I feel like the perks didn't change like the
Is this
strong characters
Infected's
that much,
desk
and it's still
behind
like
them?
kind of like you just play with the
By any
heroes you're good
chance?
at and like the comps you're good at.
Yeah, we saw in that series, just talking a little bit more about perks. This is
It is.
obviously the newest thing.
Easiest
Whether it
guess
be
of
the
my
double
life.
Bio nade or the sleep, which one are you kind of preferred? I think we saw you use both throughout the series.
I think it depends. I think the sleep is like really good into the characters that like you can sleep a lot, like a ball or a diva or something. But the nade bounce is just kind of fun. It's also really strong.
Dude, the Winston follow-up on like 3 bio people every fight is crap.
Yeah, backlines just explode in front of our very eyes. It's nasty. Well, UV, you and your team did it once again. One more to go to end stage 1, so we wish you best of luck in your upcoming match. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, actually, a quickie.
Always great to chat.
All right, let me have a goose at this table. Don't know if that actually changes anything. Nightmare's result hasn't. Oh, it has been logged. No, they should have one more, no? They should be 5-1 as well after that win. Can you pay out? Oh, good shout, Slippery. Whose outcome? Nightmare complete. Okay. So yeah, I don't think any huge changes to the table expected over these next couple of days. Everyone's just going to get themselves up to, I think, is it just going to be a 5-on-1 situation for everyone? Yeah, SSG, Team Liquid expected to win, and Balboa go up to 5-1. Timeless and Nightmare did their bit today, and then we'll just have to figure out the tiebreaker situation for Sunday, presuming those results go as planned on Saturday. So I think Saturday's going to be a straightforward day of NA. So maybe hopefully like a early to bed time. In terms of other areas, EMEA, we got the final week of EMEA. I think it's slightly off your screen right now or hidden by my camera. There's going to be Pep, Sakura, and Genji versus TU. Genji versus TU, obviously the big game there, right? Could go either way. I think I predicted. Did I predict TU? Maybe I predicted TU to lose this one. I think actually TU could really come out on top this weekend. Like a 2-0 week, really not out of the question for TU. Despite all their struggles of form and success so far, you know. So yeah, very interesting game there in EMEA. Career-wise, we're guaranteed good games because we are in obviously the seeding tournament. Let me get gone too far. So we're gonna get the last chance qualifier match between Pokerbase and New Era to kick us off at 8 AM. That's in less than 7 hours time. And then we've got Zeta versus Way and Crazy Raccoon versus Falcons. We only saw it the other day, but we'll get another cheeky look at it as well right now, you know? Was a 3-2. Again, Falcons always play close. Always play close to Crazy Raccoons. So it should be a pretty good game. But I think I'm going to end this one pretty promptly. Get myself off to bed so I can be up for Korea. But thank you, everyone. Appreciate all the support today, especially all the extra support with the Tracer perk and stuff as well. Or the Tracer skin. A rainy day Tracer. So really happy with that. I'll be back in the morning. I think Hunter should be good for it as well. I'll see you all in the morning, and I'll find you someone decent to raid, I reckon. But good night, everyone. See you in the morning.